let's start that over. Welcome to Monday morning.
It's a Monday of Mondays.
It
Oh,
is a Monday. All right, let's do. And a one, and a two, and a hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Song Swap Showdown. I am one of your hosts, Chris Vaglio, and I am joined, if you're watching the video version of this, the amazing human being to my right, Miss Amanda Sharp. How are you today?
good morning. And I mouthed, oh, stop it. So it wasn't that I was muted. I'm doing good. It was a good weekend. The weather's nice. So, coming into this Monday, I'm feeling pumped and ready to do this fun show.
Yes, we have another fun show all lined up and ready to go for you all today. So much show, so much to get to. We're so excited. If you are joining us for the very first time, so say you are scrolling through Spotify or Apple Podcasts, or maybe you saw one of our thumbnails on YouTube and you're like, what the heck is Song Swap Showdown? What is the show about? Well, friends, let me tell you.
Welcome.
So, welcome. First of all, welcome, friends. Second of all, Song Swap Showdown. So what do? Each and every week, we swap 3 songs each with each other, Amanda and I. So we try to pick 3 songs that we don't think the others heard before, and the show is normally theme-based. And actually, when we first started the show, we weren't theme-based.
Correct.
We were simply sharing songs with each other that we don't think the others heard before. But slowly but surely over time, themes became a thing because our
Community
loves it. So
We listened.
So we started doing the themes. And so here we are. So every week we each swap 3 songs based on a theme that we don't think the others heard before. And then we rate those songs on a scale of 1 to 5 records, with 1 being a dumpster fire of a song. Get it out of here.
Shoot.
Throw it away. Light it on fire. All the way up to 5 records, which is heavenly music to our ears, going on the eternity playlist. The playlist that we would want to listen to over and over and over again. That's right. We'll never get sick of those songs.
Never.
That's a 5-record song. That is a 5-record song.
Yeah. And we've surprisingly had a handful far. We started season 1. Listen, we're in season 3, everyone. If you're new here, we are not new. And we are so glad that you stumbled upon us, however that happened. But if you aren't new and you've been with us from the beginning, you'll know that both Chris and I's music taste has changed significantly. Our ears hear things differently, and we're much more open-minded because there were some one records in the very beginning.
Yeah, if you go back to very early episodes of the show, which are still available on all the platforms and also on YouTube, they're all there. You can definitely see how our musical tastes have opened up and expanded through doing this show. So I'm just saying, we've become much more open-minded to each other's music choices. Although we do have a lot of crossover, like there's certain things we do enjoy. But when it comes to some of the things like your harder country stuff or my heavier stuff, it's we are both very generous with each other.
And funny you should mention country today because mine is pretty country heavy.
That is right.
My list of 3 songs this week was
you went full country. Yeah, you went deep
country. I wanted to gauge your country because I feel like I've been doing some good country choices for you the last few months.
I feel like yeah.
And so I'm gonna take this opportunity to trial and error.
Yeah,
we're gonna
trial and error.
Get some pieces to the puzzle of how country can Chris go.
How country can Chris go? Well, you're gonna find out.
You're gonna find out.
So, as I said, every week we do a theme, and what we actually instituted now here at the show is we spin a wheel of themes at the end of every show to pick next week's theme. So you want to make sure that you listen all the way to the end, so that way you can see what next week's theme could be, because you have to watch. Or if you want to actually contribute to the wheel of themes, all you have to do is go join our Facebook group and contribute, because a lot of the themes that are on the wheel, I'd say about 80% of the themes on the wheel are submitted from our community, and then the rest are ones that Amanda and I, our ever-growing notebook of themes, we've thrown on there. So make sure you stay tuned to the end to get to the wheel of themes, which leads me to this, Amanda.
Yes.
What is I mean, spoiler alert, once again, if you saw the title and you landed on this, you're like, oh, I know what this episode's about. But if you just, Russian roulette and you're just, picking random
Absolutely.
podcast episodes,
Yeah.
what is this week's theme?
This week's theme is all about location. How did we interpret location? Well, you'll have to buckle in and find out. Is it a physical place? Is it a place in our minds? I mean, location could have been a lot of things.
Yeah.
I was excited when this came out. And this week I went very literal though. I did physical locations.
Yeah, I did physical locations too, actually. I believe all my songs are about, I think they're all cities.
I think all 6 of ours are. And so we've got our community, though, on our Facebook group, though, really had some good suggestions that weren't necessarily location based, like physical location. And you actually chose a song that was recommended on that list. Maybe it was on your list before. Maybe it was added after. We'll have to see.
You'll have to wait and hear the story. You'll have to hear the story. Yeah, so this was actually I had a lot of fun actually putting this together because I didn't realize actually how many songs are about cities, locations, places, everything. And I didn't realize how many of them I actually really like. This was just really, really hard to narrow down, as I feel like I say every week. But some themes, it's like you just don't even realize how many of a certain song or type of song, like in this case, songs about locations, places, all that, like how many you actually like and listen to with like subconsciously until you really sit down and start thinking about like, wow, there are a lot of songs, which it makes a lot of sense because throughout the years since we've been doing the show, like we talk about the stories and the inspiration.
Yes.
And a lot of times it's from traveling, it's from being in this restaurant or this cafe at this place or driving through or, a lot of artists are on tour. So it's like they're always going to different places and meeting new people and having experience. So it only makes sense that cities, places would be an inspiration to many, many of our favorite artists. And of course they would write songs about it. Why wouldn't they?
And I feel like Billy Joel does that a lot.
Yeah, well, being a New Yorker.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true, though. I mean, a lot of his songs are very much about New York, but it makes a lot of sense. I mean, New York, and I think, too, when you actually put in, if you put in, the words New York in Spotify, for instance,
kidding.
The reams and reams and reams of songs that come up in that search query, it's amazing how New York itself, just that state, or actually city, New York City itself is an inspiration to so many singers and songwriters. When you think about all the places on earth, it's so nuts.
True.
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. So we got, so if you're watching us live, we always encourage people to comment, play along with us on the show, give us your song ratings, give us your opinions. Did you like it? Did you not like it? And let us know your song suggestions. So we have a few friends checking in, few great friends of the show. Our good buddy, Ian, from Australia, checking in with his song picks as he's been doing almost the last couple months, giving us song picks for Amanda and I. So his suggestions for me to check out are Bow River by Cold Chisel, Solid Rock by Goanna. I'm going to go Goanna?
That sounds good.
And KHE San by Cold Chisel. I am probably saying that wrong. But those are my 3 suggestions for me. And for Amanda, his 3 picks for Amanda are A Pub with No Beer by Slim Dusty.
Oh, what a name.
Your favorite name.
Slim Dusty.
I Still Call Australia Home by Peter Allen. And I've Been Everywhere by Lucky Star. Yep.
That's talking about no location, but every location. Location. Look at that.
Poetic. I love it. Well, thank you, Ian. I appreciate the song suggestions, and we will definitely check those out. And, of course, Dave Mattingly checking in, our VIP. Big money, no whammies, he's saying, and Billy Joel is the man.
No argument here, unless it's Uptown Girl, which Chris gave 2 records.
That's right. Always and forever.
We sound like a broken record, or at least
always
I do.
And forever. And if you want to be as cool as Dave is one of our very special Buy Me a Coffee VIP supporters. So thank you so much, Dave Mattingly, for your continued support each and every month. If you'd like to also be a VIP supporter, we have a bunch of levels there where you can get all kinds of cool free stuff. All you have to do is actually use the link in our show and go over to buymeacoffee.com/Song Swap Showdown. Or if you are watching watching the video version, we've actually made this super simple now. There's a QR code on the screen. Scan that, and then it'll take you to all the links to the show that we always talk about here. Our playlist, our merch store, our website, all the places you could listen to the show, including our Buy Me a Coffee. So check that out if you want to support the show. And with all of that being said, Amanda, let's do our show.
Let's do it.
Let's do the show.
So I feel like I've hogged the first spot for the last couple weeks. So I feel it's fair to let you go first.
Right.
If you choose to accept that responsibility.
I choose to accept that responsibility. I will kick us off first because I got to tell you, one of the things that I liked about the artist that you sent me today, more than anything, was the album cover for this.
It's fun.
Yeah, I was just trying to bring this up because I wanted to show everybody if they hadn't seen this. I think it's amazing. I don't know why, but there's something very just very cool about it. Let me see if I can get
I think
this
it's
up.
great for the time that the song came out. It just is very fitting.
No, it's very I mean, it's like, why wouldn't this be the cover of this record? Oh, man, I just gotta find. So anyway, we're talking about while I'm looking for this, we're talking about Marty Robbins' El Paso. What a song. This is, to me, like, when I think of typical, like, real country, like, this is definitely like sitting around the campfire. This is like cowboy country.
Yes.
Like, I guess that's what I would call it, right?
I think that's a very
here we go.
Simple description for somebody who doesn't know this song yet.
I mean, look at this cover. Marty Robbins, gunfighter ballads and trail songs. Sorry, and he's just like totally dressed up like a cowboy, dressed up like the Man in Black. His like, it doesn't get any more
ballads.
I mean, can you imagine this? Somebody must have had to have done a parody of this cover at some point.
Oh, I'm sure. And incidentally, we talked about Elvis's movies last week.
Yeah.
This is something that I could have seen Elvis. Just put Elvis's face on that. And
right.
You could almost see it being one of his cheesy movie covers.
This is amazing. Like, I don't know. I gotta tell you, this is I love this cover. I just think it's great. Can you imagine a cover like I don't think this is I mean, this is 1959 is when this came out. So it's like, this cover would never come out today. I don't think it would pass. No. It wouldn't pass muster.
Not at all. Not at all. And the simplicity of it too is just hilarious.
Yeah, it's just like, what color is that? Like
it's like pink.
Pink.
It may have been red at one point.
I mean, it makes sense though. It's like the 50s, right? So you got the kitsch, but then he's got the all black on, so it really pops.
Marty be poppin'.
Marty be poppin'. But then it's funny. So that's pink, but then you look at Spotify and it's like red. So it's bizarre. But anyway, so I will say that right away when that came up, I was like, whoa, I love this cover. This is great. So, and right away, I had a feeling I knew how the song was going to sound, and it sounded exactly as advertised on the cover of the record. Like, it really did. It's totally reminded me of every Western, especially sitting around the campfire, or like that scene where, like, you know, they're on the horses and they all just start singing together, trying to pass the time. Or again, they're like the scene from Three Amigos where they're all sitting around the campfire and they start singing. And
that's just the dumbest, funniest movie ever.
I love Three Amigos, and this totally just and the song is like, you know, it deals with some heavy stuff, but but it's a cowboy song, and of course it's gonna have something to do with a woman and some murder and all that stuff. So, So all right, so let's get into the song a little bit, because I found the history of the song a little fascinating, because as always, this is great. As always. So this song was written. So a lot of this is coming courtesy of our friends over at songfacts.com. So El Paso by Marty Robbins, released off of Big Time Country in 1959. It charted #1 on the U.S. country chart,
as it should have.
and number 19 in the UK. So he wrote this in the car as he and his family were traveling through Texas on the way to Arizona. And if you've never listened to the song before, well, let me tell you guys, you're in for a cinematic Western treat, because the song is a Western saga complete with drama, violence, and romance. That's the three things I think in any good country song. Ding, ding, ding.
Yep.
Drama, violence, and romance. The singer falls in love with a Mexican girl named Felina, but when he sees her with another man, he shoots the guy, killing him. He steals a horse and makes his escape, but love compels him to return to the scene of the crime where he was met with a bullet to the chest. I mean, if that's not a country or just a cowboy film or western, I mean that is it encapsulated in a song. So what I thought was interesting was some of the history about the song itself and the length, right? So the song clocks in, which is one thing that I did. If I had anything negative about this song, it's the length of it. Sure. Is okay, it's going on and on. It doesn't really change too much. So I was like, this song feels unnecessarily long. So I understand this next bit of history, which is at 4 minutes and 40 seconds, the song was exceptionally long by pop standards. Mm-hmm. Columbia Records bucked the convention in October 1959 and released it as a single at that length anyway. And the decision paid off when the song topped the Hot 100 the first week of 1960, making it the first time a song longer than 4 minutes hit number one on that tally, and it was a number one country. El Paso was over a minute longer than any number one on the Hot 100 that year. Georgia on My Mind by Ray Charles was the second longest at 3 minutes and 37 seconds. And it was also another little bit about this song as well, which I also found interesting, because the song was actually so popular that he actually almost made a trilogy. He actually made a trilogy out of these songs. So in 1966, he followed it up with the song Felina from El Paso, which is an 8-minute piece that told the story of the girl who the original narrator was hopelessly in love with and how she commits suicide with his gun after the aforementioned dying kiss. So it's basically like a prequel and then a sequel to
I did not know this.
To the end of that song. And then he visited the city again in El Paso City, a sequel of sorts in 1976. So he kind of made a little trilogy of that El Paso song.
That's fun.
And also, just for any music nerds out there too, of note, is that El Paso was actually produced by Don Law, who is the man who produced the only known recordings of blues legendary guitarist that influenced generations and generations of artists, Robert Johnson, in the late 1930s. So that's just a little bit of cool, through, the only man who has actually produced any of the only known recordings of Robert Johnson produced El Paso. So I thought that was a little cool. About that length too. So this was another little funny thing I saw today, is that the song, it said originally clocked. So when Marty Robbins showed up with El Paso, which clocked in at 4 minutes and 37 seconds, the powers that be at his label Columbia released an edited version that was much shorter and put Robbins' unedited version on the B side of the 45. DJ started playing the long version instead of the side A edit, and it became a hit. I got a feeling that, and a lot of times you'll hear DJs will say they probably preferred the longer version because that means they could go up and go take a break.
Yeah,
go to the bathroom, they could get something to eat.
For sure.
It gave them a break.
That's fantastic.
More than likely, that's the reason. So, all right, so let me just play a little bit of this, because I felt, like I said, I wanted to share some of the history I found, because I think a lot of times the stories behind the music, behind the creation of these songs is sometimes better than the actual song. But it's interesting to see how people come up. So let's hear a little bit of El Paso by Marty Robbins. I love the guitar. I love the guitar playing in this, by the way. I think this is good.
Out in the West Texas town of El Paso, I fell in love with a Mexican girl.
I mean, it tells a story.
Nighttime would find me in Rose's Cantina. Music would play and Felina would whirl.
Felina would whirl. It's like Young Guns. You ever
Blacker than night were the eyes of Felina.
There's that.
Wicked and evil while casting a spell.
Reminds me of Young Guns too, because it's I remember that part when they go to hide in that Mexican villa for a bit, the little town, and he falls in love. It's got that feel. got that feel. So very traditional country, like totally gives me like images of like Roy Rogers and like
absolutely.
Like I don't think it gets more. This is like like I said it before, like cowboy country.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So where do I rate this? I love the narrative of this because yes, I immediately was like, wow, this is very cinematic. I could see this is like any Western film, like even like Clint Eastwood's like Man with No Name a little bit.
Yeah.
Has that flavor to it. But
I'm ready with my paper and pencil.
And by the way, just to keep track here, is that you're currently 4-2.
Yeah, I am.
And I am 2-4.
And that's where I was like, I got some room to play this week.
You got some room to play, yeah. So by the way, we've been keeping track of who's. We start keeping track of who's when we tally up the ratings, who's got the better score. So far, Amanda's in the lead. So where do I put this? So like the story, love the record cover.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My only negative thing about the song is, and we just talked about it a little bit, is the length.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and it's very repetitive. It really, but I love the guitar playing. I love that flamenco. Like I think that is it's very beautiful sounding. I love the recording, the production style. It sounds like it's from another time. Obviously, it's from 59 or
yeah.
So it sounds like it's from another time, which I really enjoy that because you feel transported. So I would give this. Now I'm not a big country fan, so
sure.
I don't know. The only thing is I'm not sure I'm gonna repeatedly listen to this song. Like I don't know if I'm gonna go for it. I don't know if I'm gonna re-listen to it like a lot and be like, oh, I gotta hear me some El Paso.
Mm-hmm. Give me some El Paso.
Give me some El Paso by Marty Robbins. But I enjoyed it. So with all that being said, I'm giving it a 3.5. 3.5 records.
Okay. Hey, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm taking it. I'm taking the 3.5.
I give it a 3.5.
All right.
I think it's a good song. I'm just not like moved to add it to like it's not going on my eternity playlist. It's not going to go on steady rotation.
Understood.
But I enjoyed listening to it.
Okay. All right.
Does that make sense?
I do. I do. Or it does. It does.
Yeah.
So 3.5 for El Paso by Marty Robbins. I like it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So going into your first song to me was Los Angeles by X.
X.
How simple. X.
This is such a classic. This is a punk rock classic.
Okay, so
this is as LA punk as you can kind of like for the time. Mm-hmm. Like they personify like sort of the LA punk scene.
I feel like the song, and I'm going to be honest.
Listen, people tune in for our honesty, Amanda, not for our waffling.
And this might say more about me than anyone else. But this song, it's made me a little uncomfortable to listen to.
That's good.
Is that fair?
And it's fair, and that's actually good.
Okay, good. Okay, I was like, I felt as if I couldn't sing it. You know, there's just the lyrics are risque.
Well, it's very much, I mean, this is going back to like 1979, 1980, like LA, like sleazy, like real sleazy LA, you know, like, and this is like the underbelly of the LA underground. Yeah.
LA.
Yeah, LA.
Yeah. LA. Yeah, there's the N-word is referenced.
The N-word is referenced, yes.
Jewish people are referenced, but not in a good way.
Right, because it's basically really taking a picture of what's kind of going on
in a woman's brain, that she hates everyone. And at the end of the day, she labeled everybody. So she just hated everyone, I feel like.
Mm.
You know, when you look at all the things she hated, and I go, she's just not really unhappy person. Not nice. So it made me uncomfortable because it really almost had too fun of a beat to it to be so uncomfortable for me. Like, I'm like, oh, I dig it, but I hate it. But I dig it, but I hate it.
Yeah. I mean, you know what it is? It's like X is because it's like when you look at the roots of punk rock, right? Like you've heard I've sent you a lot of especially early stuff. So when you look at like the Ramones, bands like X, even the Sex Pistols, like basically they're taking like rock and roll, like just traditional rock and roll, and speeding it up, like totally taking like the Chuck Berry riffs, things like that, and speeding it up, making it much more raw. And that's one of the things I loved about X, especially early X, is that they take a lot of almost like Chuck Billy-esque riffs and just completely like speed it up and make it more raw. I mean, that's really at the end of the day what punk rock, like especially early punk rock, kind of like did, you know?
So the tune itself I thought was catchy. I liked it. I liked hearing guy and girl singing it. That was fun. It is a guy and a girl singing it, right? Okay.
Yeah, so Exene Cervenka and John Doe.
Okay, so it's my real issue with it is, do you think it could be written today and sung today?
I do think it could be written today, and I think that there's variations of this song has been written today by other artists, especially in hip hop, when you look at a lot of these lyrics. Because, I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, the song is about a very racist person who feels compelled to leave the city for a less diverse environment. It's not about a real person, but a type of person Exene Cervenka came across. So she's wrote the song. So she explained how the song is not to be taken as an endorsement of this behavior. She told BAM in 1980, Los Angeles is supposed to be this racist song you wouldn't write, right? If you're truthful about the character you'd write, you'd hate everybody. But she didn't really hate everybody. And it's not it's not about her. She's like, people don't understand. When you read a book, you don't think the narrator is the person who wrote the book. There's a separation. She said that basically, you know, this is covering the shady characters on the savory places instead of the glamorous side of commonly portrayed in the media about Los Angeles. So, you know, it's more or less about like people that she's met that have this like perception and they got to get out of it. And so that's kind of where, you know, that's where the song kind of came from.
Yeah, there was no fluff to the lyrics. There was no thought to saying, how can we say it clever?
But that's punk rock.
It was just, I don't want to keep using the word uncomfortable, but I mean, I'm like, it seems so.
But it should make you uncomfortable because that's what punk rock should do. It's like, it's making you think and it's making you be like, wow, this is like for real. Like there's no sugarcoating these lyrics. This is how people are. And, you know, and this is what we feel and this is our environment. And you know, and not everything is sunshine and rainbows, you know, and that's what makes punk rock sort of a different genre of music. Is like they're making music, but it's actually, you know, about their environment, their culture right there.
Activism,
you know, and if you look at hip hop, especially early, I mean, you know, the songs are about the neighborhoods they grew, like everything.
Yeah,
you know,
it's so true.
There people are writing music from where they're coming from, you know, and we're talking about locations, and Los Angeles in, you know, the 70s and 80s wasn't very savory.
Have you ever been to Los Angeles?
I've been to Los Angeles a bunch of times.
Have you really? I've never been. It should probably come to no surprise.
I love
to
the
anyone.
West Coast.
I've never been. El Paso is as far west as I've ever went.
Yeah. El Paso. I've only been to Texas once. I was in Dallas.
We lived in El Paso for 4 years.
For like 48 hours I was in Dallas. That's about it.
It's a huge state. Yeah. Drive through it a couple times and you have a whole different feeling about it. Yeah. All right. So it was difficult rating this song because there's I'm going to like it and sing it and be oblivious to what I'm singing.
Yeah.
Because it's catchy.
Well, that's it. You know, it's a really catchy song.
It is. But when I'm dissecting all of it, I'm going, I could not be just chilling in my car.
It's super hooky.
4-way stop singing this without people going, what's she singing? I might get in trouble.
You might. So
I feel like I have to listen to this song with caution and around a certain crowd or alone. I mean, am I wrong about that?
No, I mean, I think that it's like, listen, it's a song and it's a real song, and I think you may have to be careful about where you're belting out these lyrics because it may be quickly taken out of context.
Go listen to Song Swap Showdown. I swear I'm not being mean. All right. So I'm a little conflicted with my rating because I do like the song, but I also I'm sensitive to the song for all the reasons that we already discussed. So I think I'm going to give this a 3.8.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I'm not going to listen to it really a ton. And
That's
probably
fine.
I will only listen to it probably most likely when I'm listening to our playlist, which I do embarrassingly too much.
I was gonna say, listen, it's a song I knew was gonna be challenging, and I knew it was something you'd never heard before.
Never.
But like in the world of punk rock, it's actually kind of a very important song, especially X. Like back in the day, if you watch a lot of people who have seen the documentary, which is Decline of Western Civilization, released back in the 1980s. So it's like you got X, The Germs, Black Flag, Fear. They're all chronicled in that film, and it really captures the that very, very early LA punk scene in a great way, directed by Penelope Sphere. So, and X was actually one of the bands that they got signed to a label and independent, and they sold like 500,000 copies. That's like crazy for a band of that level. So they kind of blew up, and
sure.
And so they're definitely and X marks the spot as far as a landmark punk record and punk album, and getting a lot of people into oh, what is the sound that's going on in LA? It's like West Coast punk kind of thing.
Sure.
So anyway, I knew it was going to be a challenging song for you, but I actually you gave it a higher rating than I thought you would.
Okay. So that's good.
Yeah, so you gave it a 3.8, right? That's what we're rating down. All right, so it was 3.8.
Look at us cruising.
Look at us cruising today.
It's almost 9 o'clock, and we've only talked about 2 songs. It's what we do.
Yeah, it's what we do. It's what we do. Wow, there are so many comments going on right now.
Check them out. Let's check those babies out.
Let's check out some of the comments. So we've got Dave Manley, where based off my 3 Amigos comments, wherever there's a justice, you'll find us. Wherever there is suffering, we'll be there. Wherever liberty is threatened, you'll find Chris and I made the Song Swap Showdown. Oh man, that's great.
You're great, Dave.
Ian goes, I love how Chris says 4-2 and 2-4 as if the scores would be different.
Fair.
Yeah. Krista Edwards checking in. It's no different than nasty rap music that's out there.
And you know I think that's so true, Krista. I think my thing is if I hear that in passing, I'm not hearing the lyrics. When we're doing the show, I'm actually looking at the lyrics. So I don't even know that I would have noticed if I just heard this song in passing either. Yeah. And you know what I like about doing the themes is maybe the song would have never ended up on your list to ever give to me.
Probably
if we didn't have a location-based episode. So I'm excited that it maybe throws some extra songs on the list that never would have landed on our show.
Yeah, absolutely. Ian's saying, I don't think these lyrics will be in Amanda's next ditty.
No, but speaking of ditty, buckle up, friends. I got one for the end of the show. You don't know what started in me.
That's it. Something's been awoken in Amanda.
I know. Dittying it up.
Dittying it up. Burning House of Love is my favorite X. That is a good tune. And my sister checking in with, hey. All right. So, you know what? I didn't even, let me play a little bit of it. Let me play a little bit of Los Angeles real quick. I'm just going to play the beginning with non-offensive lyrics.
There you go.
I mean, that.
It's so catchy.
She had to leave. I mean, right there, it's like they just set it up. So there you go.
What a fun! It's really fun.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, it's a great song. And once again, you can always check out all these songs. If you don't want to go find them yourself, we do have a playlist, our Song Swap Showdown playlist, where if you scan the QR code, you can get right to our playlist on Spotify, or use the link in our show notes. So you can check out all these songs that we've been talking about since the start of this season, since the start of 2023 season. So
absolutely
check it on out. All right,
play it at your next party. Your friends and family will thank you.
Yes, they will, especially when this song comes on. Los Angeles. they're like going, and they're like, what did she just say?
Some awkward silence might happen.
They're like, just have some more.
We're just gonna have some coffee.
All right, so your next song to me is a song by Leanne Womack, with Jason Sellers, A Little Past Little Rock, which I found out Jason Sellers was our ex-husband, by the way.
See ya.
So I was like, dang, that's kind of risky. I like that. It's like, okay, so this song, Leanne. So basically, the song was written. So I found out a little bit about the song. So it's written by Brett Jones, Tony Lane, and Jess Brown, and was recorded by Leanne Womack. It was released in June of 1998 as the first single from her album, Some Things I Know. The song peaked at number 2 on U.S. Billboard's Hot Country Singles and Tracks chart behind Wide Open Spaces by the Dixie Chicks.
Such a great song.
And this is just her third song to miss the top spot, by the way. So she's so close. So close. So close.
That's where we talk about all the time. Timing is everything.
Right. So this song in the video, like, just, I mean, it literally is what you think it's going to be in the video. Is such a literal, like, interpretation of the song is the narrator driving down a highway, not caring where it takes her, but she's satisfied knowing she's headed away from her troubled relationship. Like, that complete, like, I am just getting in the car and I am going and I am not stopping for nothing.
See ya.
I am out of here. So in the video is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Very much the same thing. So what did I think of this song? So I think Leanne Womack has got a really great voice. You've given me some Leanne Womack stuff before, and I've actually heard she's got that. So you'll know the name. She's got the one song that's really famous.
I Hope You Dance.
That's it. I Hope You Dance. Because so back in the day, I used to.
Wooka wooka wooka.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
I used to do. I used to film and edit weddings. And this song, that song, I Hope You Dance, used to be on like, all the time. I used to do wedding montages. It was always a dance song, like the one of the dance song. I guess the father daughter dance, or like even so it was like one of those songs that always was like a wedding staple, especially when I was editing stuff. So that song is forever burned in my memory as. Although I couldn't remember the name, but a minute it comes on, it's like I can hear it. Yeah. So it was actually nice hearing other Leanne Womack songs that weren't that. I thought it was a good song. You know, it wasn't like it didn't blow me away. I thought it was good. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. It just was kind of. I wouldn't say it was just there. I mean, I like the storyline. I think it's cool. Like, you know. It just felt like, you know, it was a kind of a country ballad, I guess, like more of a like, and this is the thing, I do talk about this though, about like not knowing the errors sometimes of country, although I feel like I'm getting so much better. And before I looked this up, I was like, this feels very 90s to me.
You're usually pretty good.
It was 1998. You know what? Because I feel like a lot of the, like, I'm starting to hear a lot of similarities in a lot of, like, some of the female country artists around this time. Sort of, I mean, they all bring their own thing, but a lot of the production and a lot of the star rating seems to be very similar for that.
That's fair.
Period of time in, I think, pop country music. Because I think that's a lot of, like, I think it's and I don't know, and if I'm wrong on this, let me know, because you're a big country fan, Amanda, but I feel like that the 90s in country seems to be a lot more crossover stuff going on. Like, seems like there's more the crossing over into pop mainstream music, I guess.
It's when
than just being country.
Yeah, it really started. Because, like, Taylor Swift started as country.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she was very, like, her first couple records are very, like, kind of country.
Yeah, now look at her. So there was that transitioning from, it could land in, like, 2 different charts.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't have to just be in the country charts. So yeah, I think you're completely right.
So I didn't hate the song, but I didn't love it.
Okay,
right? That's okay. I mean, I don't, you know, it's just one of those. I felt like it was a nice song. You know, I don't know what else more to say about it. I mean, I think it's a nice song. Like it's like, oh, that's nice. I love the I think the lyrics are great. I think she tells a good story. I think you know, as far as that stuff goes, it's good. I don't know if I'd really listen to it again. So I don't know. It's that. Let me play a little bit of it. I don't know. Is there anybody out there? If you guys are all listening, Well, I don't know. Do you guys
Look
know
at
the song?
I'm already jamming to it.
You're already jamming out to
I'm
this.
already like, I had to leave my life in
Yeah.
Dallas.
Did you guys know this song? Oh yeah, I had to leave my life in Dallas.
And every crowd on every corner, and every face I'd see you.
She's got a great voice, man. Beautiful voice.
So with nothing more than a take a guess, I drove away without looking back. And I guess that's how I got where I am.
How many times have I wanted to do that?
Going anywhere as fast as
More than I probably care to admit on a live show.
Free Rachel, of course.
Yeah.
I love those lyrics. Too soon to know what's up ahead, but too late to change your mind, because there is that timing where if you forget something at home, do you turn around and get it, or you buy it new? You know, there's the timing of a road trip.
Yeah,
and I think it's such a statement.
Yeah, a lot of times I go, I got this, and this. The rest I could just buy.
Yes. Yep. There's that. Oh, I can't go back. So there's the strength in being further than close. That will keep her moving forward. And I think that's a good message to a lot of people. And if
I do.
All my songs kind of are connected to Texas, because
I noticed that.
Isn't that fun? And I didn't intentionally do it, but it just happened, which makes sense because Texas is down south, and it's a big state. So it's like you said, New York. There's a ton of songs about it. New York. There's a ton of songs about Texas.
Yeah. No, it's one of those. I think one of those places that kind of comes up a lot in music. So, all right. So where do I rate Leanne Womack's a little past Little Rock? Where do I rate this? So I would give it I feel comfortable giving it a 3.5. I think it's a fine song. I don't have anything wrong with it per se. I just, other than not being like my cup of tea in the sense of like, it's not stuff I normally listen to, but I don't find it to be a bad song. I just don't find it a song that I would personally like put on over and over again. I don't think it's making any of my playlists is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I can receive that.
But it's not for being a bad song. Okay. By the way. Okay. So I just want to make that clear.
So we've got
any Leanne Womack hate out there, which I don't want. I don't want the Leanne Womack stands to come after me.
Although if you did, it'd be great for our algorithm. So
it would be good for our algorithm. You know what? Good point.
Bring it on.
You make a solid point.
All right. Moving on to your song number 2 to me, which is Detroit Rock City. Oh, and I didn't write by who. Who is it by again?
Kiss.
Thank you. Oh, duh. How did I not write that down? No. Gosh, that's embarrassing. Couldn't have been another song? Look, sirens are coming after me. They're like, unacceptable.
That's the record.
I know.
That's the record.
I should have known that. You guys do a live show too, and sometimes you forget things.
Sometimes.
sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes I'm in mid-sentence. I'm like, wait a second. What was the point I was just making?
So, okay. You know, I love.
And
the version I put on Spotify, and I'm sure there's a shorter versions, but it's got a lot of clutter in the beginning.
Yeah, because it is the first song off of Destroyer, so it's sort of the intro. You know, it builds to it. But yeah, the single when they play on a radio and on the greatest hits and all that, they edit that off. So
I assumed, but it was interesting to hear the cluster of clutter kind of at the beginning. And I thought the information about this song, because I didn't really have a lot of thought about it, so I was thoughts about it. So I dove into what it was about, and it was basically about somebody dying on the way to a concert.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty simple.
Yeah, it's about a young fan who's killed in a car accident on his way to a Kiss concert.
And that's kind of came from a true-ish event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
somebody had died during, I think, a concert or in front of the venue during a concert.
Yeah, there's on a previous. This is from Song Facts. Paul Stanley said on a previous tour, someone had gotten hit and killed by a car outside the arena. I remember thinking how weird it was that people could be on their way to something that's really a party and a celebration of being alive and die in the process of doing it. So that became the basic lyric.
And I think that's really interesting. And one of my things that I wrote down is, how many people have died on the way to the top or on the way to something great. And, they don't quite get there, even though they worked so hard. Like, that is so terrible.
It is horrible. It is horrible. I mean, it's like, it is. It's just terrible.
It's so...
I mean, there's no other way to put it.
It's cruel. It's so cruel. And, you know, he shouldn't have been doing 95 on whatever. I mean, the mom's going to come in here a little bit and 95, be like, listen.
I gotta rock.
There was some speeding happening, but he was excited and on the way to something fun. So I didn't really love this song.
Really? Okay. I thought that this would be one that you would really dig. Wow.
I didn't. I really didn't.
Okay.
I struggled a little bit about this one. I don't know why.
So you had never heard this song before?
I had never heard this song
before. So this is the thing, because I wasn't sure, because if I remember correctly, going back to the Wayback Machine, and I think our first season of the show, I think it's our first season, maybe second, no, first season, I'd given you a Kiss song, and you go, I didn't realize Kiss sounded like this. And you had never really listened to them before.
I hadn't.
And you were like, but they look like this, and I can't believe they sound like this.
Play up a little some, because not that anyone probably is living under a rock and didn't realize Kiss sounded like how Kiss sounded, but just in case anyone hadn't, you know the image of Kiss. Barely anyone wouldn't know the image of Kiss.
Yeah. All right, hold on.
And then,
Doesn't make your ears bleed.
Not at all.
I'm feeling tight on Saturday night.
Really? This song just not doing anything for you, huh? Are you?
Death, maybe.
Get up. Get down.
Everybody's gonna leave their seat. You gotta lose your mind in Detroit, Rock City. Get up.
All right.
Maybe listen to the whole thing. Death.
Well,
maybe that.
Did you read you read the same song facts thing I did, which is so. I mean, it was originally kind of inspired. It's off of that sort of that teen ballad of like Last Kiss, like the teen tragedy, like. But think about a lot of the songs from the 50s. Like, they did have a teen tragedy of, like, you know, like drag racing and, you know, getting killed. Like, the whole, like, very romanticizing of, like, teen death, teen stupidity.
Is terrible. And, you know, I have a teen now who's driving. I see things different.
Right. Well, I mean, listen, of course. I mean, like, it
makes me sad. You got two baby girls.
But at the same
baby
time.
Boy. That are all basically grown. When I say baby, everyone, you know that, like, he's practically out the door. I mean, it is. So, okay, I didn't hate it. I'm not going to skip it, though. I won't skip it. So that says something.
I mean, I also like Detroit being rebranded Rock City instead of Motors. Detroit, Rock City.
I hate Detroit Motor City. I just feel like it takes on, like, and I know why Motor City is in there, but I just feel like musically, there's so much more to me in Detroit than like the auto industry.
Yeah, well, rock and roll music,
rock and roll. I mean, R&B.
Soul,
I mean, yes, all
blues,
of it just.
Jazz, hotbed of music.
Yeah, so I just feel like to lump it in with Four Wheels, like. So yeah, I do like Detroit Rock City. So okay, where do I rate this song?
Where are you ranking Detroit Rock City?
I'm gonna give it a. I think someone just fell down some stairs.
Someone okay then? 1976's Destroyer, the first record I ever bought, which is this right here. That's what that is. That album. That is the first record I ever owned. That's it.
Can you grab that for a second? Right. Go grab it. I feel like from afar, it looks like it could be the cover of a Beetlejuice movie. I feel like it could be like Beetlejuice. I mean, if that's not a Beetlejuice cover, I don't know what is.
As a kid, why would you not buy this record? I mean, come on.
Well, and so as a kid, when I saw that,
that looks like a comic. These guys look like superheroes. Look at that.
well, I don't know if I would say superheroes.
Superheroes.
But they're dressed up.
They look like rock gods. Get out of here.
All right, you just convinced me 5 records. No.
Boom.
Boom. I don't know rock gods, but I think they're iconic. I think we can agree on that.
This is a staple rock record for everybody. If you don't have this record in your record collection, sorry, you're just not cool.
I'm not cool. You heard it here first. Just kidding. It's been said plenty of times.
I'm going to just send you a copy of this just so you have it. And
Marcus and Owen would be like, yes.
Yeah. I mean, come on. I'm sure Marcus likes this.
They always know when I'm doing show prep because of like, oh, is that a Chris song he sent you? Because they know the songs that I wouldn't be choosing to listen to.
This record is just legendary.
Legendary.
So,
well, I'm so happy you love that so much. All right, so to not hurt your feelings.
That's good. Nice for you.
It looks great. I'm gonna give it, even though I don't love the song, I do respect it. I think it's good.
Yeah, I
do think it's good. I won't skip it. I'm gonna do 3.5.
3.5. Okay.
I think that's a very fair rating.
For me. Okay. For you, I feel like it's a very fair rating. I feel like I just moved you up from a 3, by the way, because I had a feeling you had it in your. I feel like you had it in your head you were going to give this a 3, and you just gave it a 3.5 because I told you my story about it being my first record.
It's 1,000% true. I felt as if I was looking at little Chris holding up his record cover, and how could I not give it an extra 0.5?
Okay, all right.
So you're right. You're right.
Very
so Chris is in the lead for anyone who's curious and keeping track.
I am in the
lead.
He is
at 7.3.
Very skinny lead.
At 7.0.
0.0. So a couple quick comments before we check in, before we move on. We've got Ian saying, when I was in primary school, 4 boys wore kiss makeup for more days than not throughout the whole school year.
Kidding? That's a lot of work.
That is.
They were committed.
And also, sorry, Amanda, but Australian country music is the best.
So I'm going to have to go down that rabbit hole and really decide. Maybe that's a good thing we throw on the wheel. Australian country.
May have to go on the wheel.
I'm going to make a little note about that, and we'll do that. Because I bet if it's as great as what he says, we should be able to find some songs.
What are you? If it's as great as what he says. Putting you to task.
Yeah.
All right. So I will take your 3.5 for Detroit Rock City. Thank you very much, Amanda Sharp. Yeah. And once again, if you like what we're doing here and you want to support the show, just feel free to scan that QR code on the screen, and I'll take you to our Buy Me a Coffee, or actually all our links, but Buy Me a Coffee is on there, or links to our playlist, links to where you can listen to the show, links to our YouTube channel. But yeah, make sure you hit that follow and subscribe button too, wherever you're checking us out right now. So your final song to me actually turned out to be my favorite of your 3 songs.
Stop it, because your third song to me was my favorite too.
Nice.
Check us out. Yay!
So I really enjoyed this song. I'd never heard it before, and and after doing research, I found out that this is his most famous song, or I just say most popular song, more than famous, because it actually never went to number 1 as far as I know from what I'm reading, but it's one of the ones that it's just really well known and popular song. Anyway. We are talking about Amarillo by Morning with George Strait. Now I know who George Strait is because I've always heard his name. I know he's won many awards and accolades.
Very legendary.
Yeah, very legendary country music artist. But this song in particular had never heard it before. And and I don't think I would have heard. I think there may be some George Strait songs I may have heard, but just didn't know it was George Strait. I think, and I know people are like, "How do you not know it's George Strait?" But like I said,
that's fair.
Not a consistent country fan. So anyway, what did I think about Amarillo by Morning? I really like this song. This was a cool song. This was written by Terry Stafford and Paul Frazier and recorded by Stafford as a single in 1973, but the song actually became popularized when George Strait redid it in 1982. So it was already a song. Just so everybody knows, which I often find to be the case a lot. I think but it seems like country, there's always like somebody did it or two other artists did it. There's a lot of, and a lot of them pick it up and kind of redo it or rearrange it or whatever, and then it becomes an even bigger hit.
And what year did the original come out?
1973, and then his version came out in 1982.
Sure. And I think that would make sense because if you grow up singing a certain song that you like and you have an opportunity to actually sing it, I think Kelly Clarkson does that a lot. Some songs that she really loved as, a younger adult, she has since recorded because why not? If you love them and respect them so much and you can do it, do it.
Yeah, I agree. Why wouldn't you? I mean, a good song is a good song. And if you could bring your own flair and flavor to it, you absolutely should. So, as I said, despite this being Strait's most famous tune, it is not one of his number one singles. It peaked at number 4, actually, in a country chart. It was named the 12th best country song of all time by CMT. I don't know if you knew that. That's pretty crazy. I had no idea.
He's pretty impressive.
Wow. That's quite an achievement. 12th best country song of all time. Now I want to know what they call to be the best country song of all time. CMT. Yeah, just like...
Probably something Garth Brooks.
I have to look that up. All right. So basically, though, this song, and it's another, I feel very traditional country, right? Everybody always I lost my dog and my girl, and I'm drinking beer on a pickup truck, whatever.
Nailed it.
This song, a rodeo cowboy sings about his life on the road and how he lost a wife and a girlfriend somewhere along the way.
I mean, when you say it like
I just lost them.
They just disappeared. I mean, when you say it like that.
They were there and then they were gone.
I mean, that would be Marcus. I don't know. I hit a bump and she was gone.
So it should be this song was about a Michigan husband who lost his wife along the way.
I don't know.
She was there and then she was gone. I don't know. I'm just living a life, I'm I'm on tour. I'm doing my thing, and somewhere along the way, I lost him.
She gone.
But I really liked this song. I thought that I just liked it. I will say, and Amanda Sharp, I will say this. I'm getting close for this one. Yes. I put it on the Sunday morning playlist.
You put this on your Sunday morning?
I put it on the Sunday morning playlist.
Oh my gosh, that means more to me than any score.
Yes, so I put it on the Sunday morning. I did. I really liked this. So I had I had a feel. You know what I'm saying? I had a really good vibe to it. It had a good vibe. Checking it. They'll be under the couch. That's where I find things.
Clever.
Marcus, where's Amanda? I don't know.
No. Well, last I saw her, she's in the living room.
She's sleeping in the vestibule by the dogs.
I know. It was a long night.
But yeah, I dug this song. Let me play a little bit of it because I don't know if anybody's ever heard it before. If you're not a country fan, I would imagine if you're very into country, you've heard the song.
For
right?
sure.
I mean, this sounds like it's like a country staple. 12th greatest country song of all time according to CMT. We gotta find the rest of that list because I really want to know what their top list is. All right, so let's check out a little bit of Amarillo by Morning.
And when you said it the way I lost a wife and girlfriend somewhere, like you say it out loud and not singing, it does sound so different.
It does, right?
And when he's singing it,
I'll be bucking at the county fair.
There you go.
Amarillo by morning.
He's just like, I don't know.
Amarillo, I'll be there.
I'm just going to Amarillo. You're somewhere.
I'll be there.
It lost you along the way.
They took my saddle in Houston, broke my leg in Santa Fe.
There he goes. This is where he lost him.
Lost my wife and a girlfriend somewhere along the way.
You can't explain it. It just happened.
By the way, he lost his wife and a girlfriend. By the way,
I'll never.
He had a gumad. Did he have a gumad? Is this gumad? Like, did he have the girlfriend before the wife, or did he have the wife and then lose the wife? It was like, I don't know where she is. I guess I'll just get a girlfriend now, and then I lose her.
And I'm not good at keeping them, so I lost her too.
Like, where did they go?
I'll never be able to unhear that. So every time I hear that song now and sing it, I'm gonna giggle at that line because I've listened to it no less than probably 1,000 times, if I'm being serious, and never just picked it up that she just nonchalantly, they gone.
She's just gone.
She's gone.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Here you go. And I bet he didn't lose his dog. You know what? You best believe he did not lose that dog.
Oh, that's fantastic.
He didn't lose the dog or the case of beer he was traveling with.
No. Or his saddle. No,
or his saddle or his pickup truck.
Cooking. But yeah. He's a man, dog, and truck. What else do they need?
Like, honestly, though,
oh, that's so
they took my saddle in Houston, broke my leg in Santa Fe, lost my wife and girlfriend somewhere along the way.
Just know the absolute unbotheredness of that line. Like,
he is so, like, if we listen to it one more time, just because he's
my leg in Santa Fe.
So casual about it.
Lost my wife and a girlfriend somewhere along the way.
I don't know.
To the point where it's like,
I'll be
not
looking
gonna
for
question
it
them.
when
He's probably sad about it. He could have murdered them.
Maybe he left them on a rest stop. He could have murdered him. Maybe he's like George Strait's the world's
just like,
most prolific. He's the world's most prolific serial killer. Not we're accusing George Strait of being a serial killer, but is he confessing in this? I don't know. We're going too deep here. We're going off the rails.
We often do. Yeah. That's our show.
But anyway, so I really like the song.
I love it. Oh.
No, it's just, I don't know. I like the song. I like the vibe.
This is fantastic.
Now, after saying all these things, it's like,
I feel like you turned into me this episode.
I think I did. It's like, here, this is George Strait. Just kidding.
His wife's on the left, the girlfriend's to the right.
As we look at the murder board.
Yep.
This is Amanda's mind and George Strait's mind.
Oh.
All right. So where do I rank? I like the song. I give it a 4.5.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
I'm giving it a 4.5. I really did dig the song, and I like the vibe, and I like the laissez-faire laid backness of like losing your wife and girlfriend for no reason or giving no
craps about it.
No craps about
dream.
it.
It's just a man's dream.
Just out.
I'll find a new one.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
Whatever. I got my dog.
Too. Yeah, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
So
I dug it. I dug it.
5.
All right. Yes.
And but truly, the honor of it being on your Sunday playlist is remarkable.
It's on the Sunday playlist.
I love it. I love it. All right, Chris, your last and final song to me after that engaging conversation about Amarillo.
Thank you. By the way, thank you for everybody for hanging in there on the live stream as you just dealt with that nonsense.
That's what they tune in for.
Is it?
I don't know. That's what you tell me when I go a little crazy. But valid points, Chris Baglio. All right. Your third song to me is California 2005.
California. Well, okay. So I gave you
by Phantom Planet, but yes.
The version I gave you is the version that like
explain
the second.
That.
All right, so there's like a couple versions of the song. The version I sent you the second time, I was more the version that everybody kind of knows. But there's the version that was on the OC, and I don't know if that was a re-recorded version or what. But like, the version of the song that I gave you is like sort of that's the version that like everybody kind of knows and gets played on a radio and like. And
that's when I don't know the songs, because this is an episode that neither one of us knew any of the songs, so we were true to what we try to do. So good on us. We did good this week.
Yeah, we did.
So I didn't know if it was the right or wrong version.
I worked hard on this.
I'm really more pleased with your scoring on my songs than I expected. So I'm really excited about that.
Well, you've opened me up.
This is true. Yeah. At season 1, you would probably have not liked it as much. But this was my favorite of the songs. So when I listened to the version that I originally had chosen, I actually really dug it. And you gave me a version that was a little amped up.
Yeah, so basically how this works is that there's a version of the song that's on that soundtrack. It's on the Orange County soundtrack. So that was released in 2002 with Colin Hanks and Jack Black, if anybody remembers the movie Orange County. Then they also then used the song on the soundtrack of the OC. Right? So it was on there.
Mm-hmm.
But then they did other remixes of the song. And the one that I sent you is the one that always seems to be the one that everybody... That's the version that appears on most playlists. And also, like, if you hear it on the radio. It just... I don't know that version or that mix of the song. So it was sort of remixed along the way. And that's the one that sort of... like Phantom Planet re-released, because the song became big because it was being used in the movie and on the OC. It got big, and they sort of like went in and remixed it. So, and if anybody's, and I don't know if you knew this or not, but this is Jason Schwartzberg from like the actor, Jason Schwartzberg. Schwartzman, not Schwartzberg. He's been in all the Wes Anderson movie. Schwartzman. This was his band, and then he has another band, Coconut Records.
That's fun. Yeah. Coconut Records.
But yeah, so this is but this song was on like heavy MTV rotation, man. Like this video, I sent you the video. This was like all over MTV for a longest time.
And you know what was interesting? Okay, so when I listened to the version that I had originally put on our Spotify playlist, because again, I didn't know any better.
And we could play it at 2 different versions too.
Yeah. I thought like it was super chill. It actually, like, I was really surprised about the time frame. It actually almost had more of like a Wildflower 70s feel to it. When I listened to it, I was like, I really like this. Yet when you sent me the video version and the one that most people would know, I felt like, okay, the visual matched up with where it came out more so than what my ears were hearing. So it was interesting.
Yeah, if you listen to like if you even go on Spotify like that, the Chad, I'm gonna say the Chad Blake mix, which is THCA. I'm gonna call it the Chad Blake mix. That's the one that it's got 135 million like plays, and that's like the number one version on Spotify.
Holy smokers!
But so
135 million.
Yeah,
I'd take.
It is a popular song, man.
I'd take half a mil.
Yeah.
No,
I would take the downloads. How many downloads for Song Swap Showdown?
We're at 1 now. You're welcome.
Yes, thank
you. More than that, everyone. Don't panic. We're not closing up shop tomorrow.
No, we have 2. We have
2. 3, 1 for every season.
Right, there you go.
No, I really this was really my favorite of the 3. I think it was super chill. I think there was something enduring about I Google machined it a little bit and did up on song facts like we love, and it's just about them going back to where they're from. California. And I felt like I felt a little bit of that when I was listening to it. And how I can relate to that is when we were living in El Paso and when we would have to drive home to visit or whatever we were doing, like that anticipation of coming home feels like something.
It does. Yeah.
It's when you've been gone and you're just excited to be home, but there's just a lot of feelings. And I could kind of just relate to the song a little bit more. It tugged at my feels a little bit more. So I enjoyed it. My feels. So I'm happy with it. Good. I'm happy with it.
Okay.
But I think I did prefer the first version.
All right. So I want to play. So I'm going to play. Which version should I play first?
Play your version that you sent me.
My version. All right. So here's this is the Chad Blake mix. This is the one that everybody mostly knows.
We've been on the run, driving in the sun, looking out for number 1. California, here we come, right back where we started from. Well, hustlers, grab your guns, your shadow weighs a ton, driving down the 101. California, here we come, right back where we started from. California.
I really like this song.
That's that version. So here's the version, California 2005, from the OC.
You feel like there's some whistle in there, you know?
Yeah, way different. Like
it is. It's chill.
We've been on the run, driving in the sun.
Yeah, it's just feels different.
Yeah.
California, here we come, right back where we started from. Horses grab your guns, your shadow weighs a ton.
Your version sounds more relevant to the time it's released.
Yeah, and I get it. Like as far as yeah.
California.
Sounds a little folkier, maybe.
Yeah. So there you go. And then
Yeah, I dig it.
there we go.
Do 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 do, and I really like the do 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 do.
Yep.
I was hooked. It had a good hook for Amanda.
Yes, I thought that you would like the song. I know I was like, I don't think she's ever heard this song before.
Never, and I never watched Orange County or OC.
Okay.
Never. So where do I rate this song, Chris Baglio?
I love this song. I absolutely love this song.
I do too. And so I'm coming in. I'm giving this a 5 record for the version that I like.
Right, 5 records.
And I would give. I'm not going to tally it, but I would give the version that you wanted me to listen to. By mistake, I didn't. I would probably give that one a 4.5, but I really like the others. So for this show, though, we're going with 5, which means, Chris Baglio, you are the winner for the theme locations, which is surprising because you actually gave me much higher than I thought.
Yeah, well, I really like the George Strait song, to be honest. I really liked it. I mean, I thought it was a cool song.
That swung me in.
Yeah, I really love that song, California. I have a lot. You asked about me being in LA, and I've been to the West Coast a bunch of times, and this is I have this like great West Coast mix. I didn't make this West Coast mix. It was actually found on Spotify. Someone made it. It's all songs about California and West Coast. And this song is like on there as well as the Coconut Records songs, like West Coast it's called. And I drove around the PCH, the Pacific Coast Highway, and it's just like every time I hear this song, I absolutely love California. Like I love it.
Interesting. I'll have to go there someday.
And I feel like I can't get there enough. I got to get back. I'm like dying. I even told my wife the other day, I'm like, I got to get back to California. I love it.
So interesting.
And I hear this song and boom, I'm like
you're
right
feeling
back.
it.
Yeah, I'm like right back there. So
very good.
Very sentimental about California.
Well, maybe one day with a couple more downloads, maybe we can go there and do a show.
That would be great. Live from Amoeba Records.
Do your thing.
Yeah.
Help us get there. Like, subscribe, follow. All those things.
Yeah, do all those things. All right, so that brings my record to 3 and 4.
Yes.
And Amanda now is 4 and 3.
And Ian's in the comments being a little sassy with his funniness. So funny. I love it.
Oh, Ian, you're great. Appreciate you, buddy. All right, well, great show. This is great. We now, for all those that have hung in there.
This has been a little longer. We say that every week.
Yeah. We are now going to spin the wheel of themes. The wheel of themes.
And don't forget, we got that jingle.
The jingle's coming. Do you
want
to do the jingle now, or do you want to do it before Wheel of Themes?
Hang until the end.
All right, hang until the very end.
Hang until the very, very end.
To hear Amanda's new jingle. But here, we're going to spin the wheel.
I love this part so much.
Wheel of Themes. All right. Spinning the Wheel of Themes. All right, so let's do this. Let's spin the Wheel of Themes and see what our next show theme will be.
Let's do it.
Let's spin it. What do we got? What's it going to be? No whammies. No whammies.
I get so close.
Meaningful guiding lyrics.
Oh.
This was actually submitted by Dave Mattingly.
Dave. Meaningful guiding. Ooh.
Meaningful guiding lyrics. Okay. All right. Right on.
Oh, that's gonna be a deep show.
And it's gonna be very deep.
It's gonna be so deep. Or yeah.
What is your definition of meaningful guiding lyrics?
This is true. Guiding could be directional.
Very well. There's a lot of ways this could go. I already know where Amanda's head is going. I know, Amanda, you're very much into the Christian music scene.
Very much so.
Yes. So I already am. But I've already got some goodies too. I've already formulating in my head this noggin of mine. So.
Gosh, this is great.
Yeah. So all right. Well, Dave, thank you for that suggestion. And once again, if you would like to get your suggestions in to be added to the Wheel of Themes, just join our Facebook group. Once again, you could use that, the link in our notes, or scan the QR code and join our group for free, 100% free, and submit your Wheel of Show Themes idea, and we will add it to the wheel if it's not on there already. So,
for sure.
There you go. And we got a comment checking it. Oh, Dave, I am a winner.
You're always a winner, Dave.
Oh, yeah. Chris's redemption arc has begun.
It's closer. Yeah. It is closer.
It is closer. All right, Amanda, without further ado.
Okay.
All right. Let me get you.
This week is inspired by the one and only Elvis, because I love me some Elvis. And you all do too through me.
The one and only Elvis.
We all love a little Elvis. And look, this is the jumpsuit era that I really particularly like.
That is a jumpsuit era of Elvis. Your favorite era of Elvis.
I mean, just look at how happy we are together.
You and Elvis.
He doesn't know it, but
he looks like he's looking right at you.
Right? I mean,
he's like, Amanda, this one's for you.
Yes.
This one's for you. This one's for you.
Yes. And this one all is for you that I'm about to sing here. Are we ready? Buckle up, everyone.
All right.
You might laugh. You might giggle. I don't know, but here, let me fluff the hair.
You're getting into character. I love it.
Gotta get into the character. All right.
I'm going to mute myself.
I might cough doing this one because I got to go real hard on it. Whoa. All right, here we go. Well, since we started this show, we covered a lot of songs, from hard rock music to country love songs. Oh, baby, we talk about music every Monday live. If you don't join us, we will die. Karate chop.
Wow. Karate chop.
No cheetah, but I had to work it in.
No cheetah. Oh my gosh. You had the karate chop.
Karate chop.
Karate chop.
A monster has been made.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say, you guys, other than just you're probably every week going to have to deal with some sort of shenanigans.
Because I'm ready to put the jingle on my Sunday playlist.
Ian, you're so great.
I love it.
His family would be like, good. What are you listening to?
You just basically did a murder ballad, because we just died. If you don't listen to us, we're going to die.
We're going to die.
We're dying, literally.
Like to die. I mean, I lingered the die too. Like if the point did not get made enough, we gonna die. So listen to it.
If you don't listen to the show, Amanda might lose Marcus along the way.
So that was this week. If you guys have a song suggestion in which you want me to mimic a jingle from, send them our way, and I might have some fun doing it.
That is right.
Otherwise, you have to just deal with what I choose, and gosh only knows what that'll be on a week-to-week basis.
Yeah. Need I remind you of this? The visual, once again, is Amanda's murder board. I gotta put your face here.
You guys have been warned.
We keep calling it the murder board. It's like the detective, the crime scene board.
Yeah, but people see that and know it's a murder board. No deaths were made in the recording of this episode.
The workings of Amanda's mind is like that. Strings.
And I didn't say, if you don't listen to us, you will die.
No.
I said we would die.
Right. It's us. It's on us.
No threats were made.
Yeah.
We're the casualties.
That's right.
So there we are, friends.
There we are. All right. What a fun-filled show. We got next week's theme, another new jingle. Talked about songs about places. I won an episode finally.
What more does one need for a Monday?
I mean, it's just out of control. It's off the hook. Well, we hope that you have enjoyed starting your week off with us and checking out our at least a live stream version of Song Swap Showdown. Of course, if you want to check out the replay, or if you're listening to this replay or watching the replay, feel free to hit that share button, the follow button, and also right there on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and the little bell to get notified every single time we go live or drop new videos of the show. And also do the same for your favorite creators as well, because it does help our channels, their channels, all channels, helps creators grow. That 5 seconds it takes to hit the buttons and all that stuff really does make a big difference in the lives of your favorite creators. So please take that short bit of time to do that. And if you want to check out any of the songs in their entirety that we've played here today, featured on the show, check out our Spotify playlist. You can get that by using the links in the show notes below, as well as the link to our Facebook group, which is 100% free to join. So you can do that right now and definitely submit your Song Swap Showdown ideas, show theme ideas via there. Also, we'll be posting about our next episode, so we'd love to hear your song suggestions for songs based on next week's theme of meaningful and guided songs. I'm like my guiding lyrics, meaningful guided lyrics. Sorry, my mind is going. I've got a lot of ideas already, so I'm anxious to get involved in that. And of course, follow us on all the social media channels. We are everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, Threads, Twitter, everywhere. Facebook, the Facebooks, the whole thing. we are everywhere. Please follow us at all those accounts, because we're always posting other, sharing clips from the show, and also posting some other little videos. We actually just created a little tribute video to the one and only Tony Bennett, who passed away this past weekend as of the recording of the show. So what an American legend, one of the last of the living crooners. True crooners. Man was all class. Got to meet him in person. Beautiful human being. So we put a little tribute video up to him as well, featuring some facts. So yeah, check out that and some of the other videos we've been posting. Appreciate a like and share on those as well. So Amanda, any final words before we wrap it up here?
This was so much fun. Thank you all for tuning in and hanging in there as we do our weekly shenanigans. But
that
it's fun.
Is right. Yeah. No, I appreciate you all. Thank you all so much for watching and listening to the show. And we will see you next week with another new episode of Song Swap Showdown. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye, everyone.